coming into our neighborhood, looking at our community garden. So we'll be doing a program starting April 22nd. It'll be coming on around 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. It'll be called the Compost Den, and the Compost Bin, correction. And we'd like to discuss further, but right now we'll get into Tacky Talk, peace and love.
Thank you. I thought that was so important because I am not a person that plants, but I love flowers. I love trees. I love, I love to see. I have such respect for people who can garden. Me, I can't grow anything, but there is people, well, I can't grow flowers, but actually I would just like to say that we should be mindful of our gardens, because they say that the gardens is is our future because we have to feed ourselves. Am I right, Patrick? Yes, they said we have to learn how to feed ourselves. We've had this Victory Garden here since what? 1991, and that was Victor Torres that started this Victory Garden. He's still here. He still keeps it up. He has beautiful flowers. It's small. It's within the block. But what Ray is talking about is the big garden on the corner. There is a larger garden on the corner. It used to be called the 3Rs. I don't know what it's, I believe it still is, and Victoria Garden, because Victoria Garden was on the corner, but we never quite got off the ground. But like I said, it is so important. Now they're doing something with that corner, aren't they? What are they doing?
Apparently they're starting to grow fruits and vegetables and things of that nature. But one of the things that is very striking about it, I'm a part of the East New York Farmers Association and UCC. And as an educator, I continually give presentations and talks to various groups. And last year, I did about a dozen talks, and the majority of them was given to many people from outer space, from outer state. But they were from outer state and from other countries. Now we're in an area that is considered one of the oases on the planet in New York City. We have a lot of open space as well as a conducive attractive amount of transportation and accessibility. We have a lot of community gardens. I really would ratchet it up. I would say our people should ratchet it up and become more involved in what we're eating. Nutrition is a very vital situation, and we'll be covering it again in our environmental program. And we would love for you to start. I encourage you to join us at the Garden Association and look at what's going on. So you can reach us at 718-701-9860, 718-701-9860, or tandlradio.com. That's tandlradio.com. And your comments.
Give us your thoughts.
Yes, your comments really would be appreciated because, as you know, they're closing a path marked down in Sheepshead Bay, so that means the shells are thinning out. So it's time for us to think of community sustainability.
Oh, one of the things about childhood obesity, she pointed out that the grocery stores and vegetable places where we can get healthy food is scarce,
Absolutely.
and then in the places where you can get vegetables and food and healthy food, the prices were very expensive. Mm-hmm. So I agree with Ray when he says that, like Grandma, that we have to get into more to the gardening business because, quite frankly, some of us can't afford the prices for these vegetables and fruits. And the other thing is that some of them in the markets don't look so good. The ones that really look good and fresh are very expensive.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. They
mean, tomatoes for three something, almost $4 a pound. And what I'm saying is that this is not a price that the people in the community can really afford. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right. We have to get in the business of producing and creating our own gardens, and that would be a help because it's so much quicker to get a hamburger for $1.
It's not $1.
You have a bread, you have a bun.
I'm sorry, you are listening to Tacky Talk live on TNL Radio, www.tandlradio.com, and you can call in with your questions or comments at 718-701-9860. We look forward to hearing from you.
Yes. Thank you, Dwayne. And what I was saying is it's so much quicker when you look at the terms of people having income or cash. If you go, you can get in certain places you can get a burger for $1 and over $1. As opposed to the vegetables, what's going to call you a bit more than that.
Right. They're being penalized, I think, to be able to eat healthy.
Yes.
Which makes it difficult.
So these are one of the things. So I think the garden is a good idea. And also it makes the community, beautiful. We have a beautiful community, and even when you plant the flowers and you're rebuilding houses, and you can see, how it upbrings the community. I would like to see a lot of these areas that are not fixed to be fixed. We do have beautiful people living in this community, right?
Right. Again, forgive me, Trish St. Hill has heard me on there, but she's never seen the other part of me. But one of the things I'm a total advocate of, that we must start looking at community sustainability. We must now start answering for our actions, and we must start looking at ways that we can start thinking of how to make ourselves as entrepreneurs in our diaspora. A lot of our people really look at it, whether they're hamburgers or not, we really disrespect each other. And a lot of times we don't trust each other because we don't feel that a lot of us have business savvy. We have a young lady right in here right now that is a publisher. People hear of Rodale, they hear of everyone else, but we have a black woman here who's capable and know exactly what to do, but they should be jumping at what she's doing. But how many people really are paying attention that we have the skills?
Well, I was just making the point that, a lot of times, we're waiting for other people to sell us. That's not going to happen. We got to sell ourselves.
We got to teach it,
And people do crave for knowledge out there, but sometimes they just don't know where to get it. And I'm one of those people that I don't believe in someone coming to discover me. Like you see people out in the rap business, people in the sports arena, they have to wait for somebody to discover them. I believe I have to discover and tap into my own talents. So that's the mentality I have. I don't believe in waiting for somebody to publish my book or discover me to be this type of writer or that type of writer. I do my thing and I put it out there, and luckily for me, people love it.
Can I ask you a question? I mean, not all of us, unfortunately, because of all that we went through in life, some of us just don't have that motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some of the things that motivated you, to encourage people? Because some of us want to do it, but we just don't have that motivation, the willpower, because we're so broken yet that we just don't see ourselves being there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I think for me, it wasn't something that just came overnight. It took me 25 years, as you guys know, to write this book. And then I'm getting ready to just publish it the traditional way. And I found some, what they call vanity press, that was ready to publish my book. But when I look at the percentage that they got, which was, if I got 20% or 30%, I was lucky. And I just felt, no, something is wrong here. So I took the time, and I took some classes that would help me to put things in perspective in terms of what's expected or what needs to be done to publish a book. And then I hadn't written professionally, I hadn't written in a while, so then I need to, know how to make my writing a little bit more interesting. And one of the advice I was given by my pastor, which I think really helped me, because I'm just not really focused on getting this thing done and out the door. He said, have a time of day. It could be 2 hours, it could be an hour, it could be half an hour. That you, first of all, let me say this. I believe it takes 9 days to make a habit and 9 days to break a habit. Okay, that's something I believe in, and I've proven it. So he said, get yourself in the habit of, you know, pick a place in your house. Pick that place of solace, and you write for half an hour, whatever is realistic for you. And I did it for 9 days consistently until it became a habit. And some days I knocked out pages, and some days I struggled with just a paragraph or just researching stuff. But I spent some time writing. So whatever it is you're doing, I think is to get yourself, create a habit of doing it. Create a habit and get a realistic time frame. You know, when you spend some time dealing with that or working on that thing that you're working on. You know, and then after a while, it's not something you have to struggle to do anymore. You know, a lot of times there are resources that are creative ways of getting, you know, finances or getting things done, but we're always thinking in terms of the banks. And the banks are not looking to give me or you money. We know that. You know, I'm from a Caribbean community where, you know, we have, you know, like creative ways of raising our own capital. So we're not looking for banks. I mean, it's nice if the bank does it, but we know the strings that come with that, and we know that chances are they're not going to be funneling money in our community. So we look at ways to raise money and among ourselves. In my particular case, I funded my stuff myself, my company myself. But if you don't have the funding, you know, look at, you know, relatives, look at friends, look at people in your community that might be able to collectively fund you. You know, so that's it.
Yes, I really like what you said about sometimes you have to do it yourself because there is so much that goes on in the community. As you would have a company or you're starting a program, you know, people always look at how much money they have in the program because the grants will not give you, they will give you matching money, you know. But me, I've never felt that way. I've always felt that the same way you do that, you can support yourself because I felt that if I went to them, they would tell me, like I'm sitting at meetings and listening to, you can't do this because the law says you can't. You can't bring that child in because you understand what I'm saying, Trish. This gave me the opportunity to have these children, all the children that needed me, you know, and I needed them, you know, and we worked together. Now they are grown, and still I will not take it because I see myself more as maybe a Gandhi or Mother Teresa, you know. I want to be down there with you. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
I'm just like Grandma. You know, Grandma want to see that you get on all right. I've always been like that. I guess I was born old, but ever since I've been in the business, I felt that way. You know, let them go, let them go. And this is what I get gratification out of seeing them move on.
Right.
You know, because as for me,